Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Now, believe it or not, I spend a lot of time on Reddit. And while there, I noticed that many people have questions about the toy industry. And since I've worked in the toy industry since 2010, working for toy companies like Toys R Us, Madame Alexander, and Party City, I thought, why don't I answer a few of these questions? So that's what we're gonna do with today's video. For today's video, I'm going to be answering some interesting and frequently asked questions from Reddit, Quora, and X. Let's dive in. Okay, first question. This user from X asks, what in your opinion is the most important characteristic that takes a toy above and beyond? Okay. These days, toys that really surprise me and take things above and beyond take traditional toy categories and combine them with something else. And this is a process I actually coined in Toy Creators Academy called toy math. So one example is the recently released new line by Ty, where they combine plush with a ball and ball play and outdoor play. So basically you will play with these plush balls as if they are balls, but they're actually cuddly plush. So whenever a toy these days combines two toy categories or a toy category with an unexpected play pattern, that's when you see something really special. So in the industry, we also call this the wow factor. Basically, if your toy or invention, you show it to somebody and they expect it to do one thing and then wow, it does something else, or it does that one thing to an even more dramatic degree, then that is when we really know we have a winner. One cool example is there's a Stitch FX, like a kind of a ventriloquist Stitch toy where it just looks like a plush, but it's actually kind of a puppet. So you can have your Stitch saying and acting like different things. So those are the types of toys that we know there's something special there when a consumer thinks they know what it is and then is surprised that it's so much more. And one way to get there when you're ideating ideas is to, as I just said, combine a category with a new play pattern or combine two categories and ideate from there. Next question. Reddit user asked, what is the toy development process like? The toy development process is a ton of fun. We start with ideation first and foremost. That's when we're coming up with ideas, doing things like combining different categories, going to toy stores to see what other companies are doing, and then going to non-toy stores. I like to take my team to museum exhibits whenever possible to get them thinking outside of the box for toy ideas. Then you even might visit grocery stores for unique packaging concepts. One of my favorite package ideas that I worked on actually came as I was walking through a Macy's makeup section. I saw a package finished in a certain way and I thought that is what we need to do for our toys. So after the ideation process, then we come into the concept development phase where we're refining the toy idea, and we might at that stage start saying what features this toy will have, how it will work. That's when you start getting some feedback from your team members. Then you go over to the prototyping stage. That's when you make a prototype. You might start with a breadboard mock-up. Then you might move on to a more refined prototype that actually functions, get feedback from retailers. And if retailers are interested in that product, that's when you're pulling the trigger and going to production. And production for a toy product, you might end up having to cost reduce some things. Usually in the production development phase is where you might lose some of the features you loved about your toy simply because of pricing. It has to be priced so that consumers will buy it or a retailer won't pick it up. So sometimes you have to pull back on features that you love just to make the toy work in a retail space. And then from there, once you finalize that, you just kind of pull the trigger on production. And depending on the size of the company you're at, you may be involved with the marketing aspect, or that may just shift on to a whole other team. So the toy development process is exciting. It's kind of like a roller coaster with ups and downs and loop-de-loops, because one day you could be working on an idea and everyone in the company thinks it's going to be the biggest thing for the company, and then the pricing could be through the roof, too expensive, and everyone says we have to stop. Can't work on this anymore. So it's really an exciting journey and you never know what's going to come next. All right, another Reddit user asked, what skills are necessary for a career in toy design? So a career in toy design When you're applying for a toy job, we're really looking for someone who has experience and or interest in the toy industry. Now you might be thinking, wait, how am I gonna have experience in the toy industry if I have never worked in the toy industry? Well, I specifically remember one person that I hired who did not have toy industry experience and did not major in toy design. She actually majored in industrial design. The skills of developing a product for industrial design is totally transferable to the toy industry. Any major that you're studying or any job you might have that is focused on you developing a physical product, preferably plastic, because the toy industry is mostly plastic, will transfer to the toy industry. What you want to do to stand out, and what this person I'm thinking of did, is you want to include projects for toy design, personal projects on top of your full-time work project. So this person showed me that they had an interest in toy design because all of their portfolio was sketches of toy ideas and plan drawings of toy ideas, 3D models of toy ideas, marketing plans for how those toy ideas were developed. Even though those weren't professional products, I could see the passion and the understanding of play. And that's what we're really looking for when we're looking for entry-level positions in the toy industry. X user asks, how do you determine if your toy idea is marketable? A truly marketable toy idea is demonstrable. That means you can demonstrate exactly how to use it in a video. And it should be easy for someone to understand in 30 to 60 seconds how to play with that toy or game, and they should be excited about it. So sometimes I see new creators put too many features into a product. They'll say, oh, it will act like this, and then you'll integrate with an app, and then you can play dress up with it, but you can also, have its own home, and you can scan a QR code, and it's too much. The core feature of your toy or game should be a wow factor, and that is what you want to hone in on when you are marketing and promoting this toy. Loading it up with features, I know you might think, oh, parents will be so excited that they can do more than one thing with this toy. But what ends up happening is the price of the toy gets so high that the parents aren't going to want it anyway. And it doesn't matter how many features it has if no one buys it. The other thing is, if you have to explain so many features to a product, you're going to lose people. So you want to keep it simple. One really cool, wow, unexpected factor is what your toy needs. Try not to get derailed.